What's up guys, it is the Sound Alchemist and I'm back at it again bringing you 40 facts on the Warhammer 40k universe. This time I will be talking about everybody's favorite, perhaps the greatest hope for the Imperium, or maybe he is the greatest threat. He is the Dark Angel, Cipher. So as most of you guys know, or if you follow us on the Facebook page, Cipher is indeed getting a brand new model, and man does it look amazing. I'm thinking about getting it and converting it to fit my celestial sons because the sculpt looks amazing. Now, without further ado, well, before we get to his lore, there is a lot of lore on this guy, like a lot. He's like in a bunch of books, he's in the codex, he's got his own data slate, there's novels written about him, so yes, we have a lot of lore. So most likely we're probably going to have 2, 3, maybe even 4 parts on this guy, but let's sit back and enjoy the lore on Cipher, the fallen angel. The fall of Caliban was one of the last major catastrophes suffered by the Imperium during the bloody days of the Horus Heresy. This is the terrible secret borne by the Dark Angels these last 10 millennia, that the incorruptible First Legion fell to corruption when the Legion's second-in-command, Luthor, corrupted many of their brethren through the foul lure of chaos. Now for more information on this, check out our 40 facts on Lionel Johnson. Now even though these traitors were eventually defeated in a climactic battle that resulted in the destruction of the Dark Angel's homeworld of Caliban, but many of their numbers survived to be cast into the warp and scattered throughout space and time by the ruinous powers. The events of Luthor's betrayal are known only to a select few, and their successor chapters, the so-called Inner Circle. These defeated survivors are known as the Fallen Angels, or just the Fallen, and they are mercilessly hunted down by the elite Deathwing and Ravenwing companies and are made to repent by the fearsome interrogator chaplains of the Dark Angels before they are executed. Since that ancient time, the elusive Fallen, known as Cipher, has been on the run, eluding capture for nearly 10,000 years. During that time, Cipher has appeared in each of the 5 segmentums, materializing as if from nowhere. Wherever he surfaces, he brings with him death and destruction, although whether he is the culprit or merely a herald of woe is often unclear. The accounts are often tainted with bias, as it appears that Cipher seldom instigates the violent acts that invariably occur when he is present. It is rather that he seems to act as a catalyst which fans the hatred and mistrust of those around him. In each case, Cipher vanishes from the scene as abruptly as he arrived. Worlds burn in his wake, yet he leaves no clues as to where he will turn up next. As to who or what Cipher truly is, no one can say. Those who have witnessed him in action report that he wears simple ceremonial robes, much like many of the Dark Angels. Beneath his garment can be seen the thick plates of dark power armor. More damning still, however, is the fact that no matter where in the galaxy Cipher surfaces, it is only a matter of time before the Dark Angels, or one of their successor chapters, follow. The Dark Angels ask many questions, but they give no answers. Despite the constant search for Cipher, none have been successful in capturing or destroying him, or so it would seem. The Dark Angels have considered Cipher destroyed on numerous occasions, yet he always returns. The majority of those that know about Cipher believe that he is indeed villainous. If his incalculable plan is successful, who knows what destruction he is capable of? Some rumor of his end goal is to slay the Emperor himself. A few of those in the Inner Circle, not the interrogator chaplains, but those of more open minds, consider another possibility. Perhaps Cipher is trying to repent, trying to redeem his fallen brethren's deeds, or to steer humanity away from some predestined course known only to himself. Those who feel this way are silent, for this is actually a more frightening thought. It would mean the Dark Angels are on the wrong side once again. Cipher's targets and destinations are as inscrutable as anything that he does. Among his confirmed kills have been planetary governors, Chaos Space Marine warlords, Space Marine chapter masters, sorceress covens, cult leaders, and even high-ranking inquisitors. Naturally, the Dark Angels have never shared any of this proof with any outside of their own close-ranked successor chapters. It is a paradox how within a span of only 50 years, Cypher's deeds could result in the slaying of the evil and corrupt warlord Fabian the Golden of the Flawless Host, as well as the stout and loyal Bartholomew Loxlore, the Supreme Grand Master of the Angels of Absolution. The Imperium had sent fleets, armies, and assassins to end the rule of Tyrannex, the scourge of the drunken sector, and all efforts failed with lives in the hundreds of thousands lost. Yet Cipher alone was able to locate the Overlord's fortress, penetrate its defenses, and gun the miscreant down, instantaneously freeing billions from his unnatural subjugations. Cipher's continued existence bears testimony to his seemingly mystical ability to avoid capture. Every time pursuers got close, he has shown an uncanny ability to escape. Down the ages, the inner circle of the Dark Angels have suggested that Cipher is under the protection of some higher power. The fact that his lifespan has continued since the days before the Horus Heresy speaks of unnatural powers at play, although it was for a time proposed by the Grand Master of the Dark Angels, Raphelius, that Cipher was not one person, but many. How else to explain both his longevity and his seeming indestructibility? Perhaps Cipher was but a mask, a persona assumed when the last one was destroyed. Ironically, Raphelius was one of two Grandmasters to lose his life in the pursuit of Cipher, although whether or not the nemesis of the Dark Angels was responsible for their deaths in either case has never been proven. Over the millennia, Cipher's trail has time and time again led the Unforgiven chapters to some new revelations. This has included the unveiling of evidence that led to the capture of a fallen, the detection of a hidden vein of corruption that has wormed its way into the Imperium, or even the discovery of an ideal new recruiting world. It's not for chasing Cipher that the Dark Angels would never have landed upon the Pharaoh world of Chimeria, and the Angels of Vengeance would not have realized the death of Damania that could serve as one of their main recruiting worlds. Yet not all of the revelations during the hunt for Cipher have been proven beneficial. Many a bold and eager Ravenwing commander have been led badly astray by Cipher's appearance on the battlefield. Only those who have proven their ability to aggressively pursue, but at the same time anticipate the enemy's traps and ruses, survive for long in the Dark Angels' second company. There are instances when it is difficult to understand whether the Unforgiven chapters are hunting Cipher or if it is the other way around. It is a favored tactic of Cipher to appear upon the battlefield involving the Sons of the Lion, materializing suddenly at moments so inopportune that it has proven impossible to apprehend him. Perhaps the most famous of these instances occurred during the final battle of the Red Stars campaign. In desperation to cut the head off of a rising Orc Wa, the entire Dark Angels chapter was deployed. It was their hope that the Deathwing could draw out and destroy the Orc warboss Zogax the Great before the Space Marines were overwhelmed by the Green Tide. Alas, these hopes were dashed when Zorgax's mechs deployed some sort of jamming device that prevented the Deathwing from teleporting down anywhere near the warboss's vicinity. Defiantly, Supreme Grand Master Alokin led his own command squad and the 3rd Company in an attempt to cut through the heavily armored bodyguard of warboss Zogax. However, aided by all manner of hulking mechanized fighting machines, the Orcs proved too powerful. The Dark Angel's impetus was all but spent by the time Alokin appeared before the chain-axe-wielding Orc warboss. Tragically, the Supreme Grand Master was cut down, but as Zogax reached down to claim the Lion's helm for his own, his hand was vaporized by a bolt of plasma. Howling in anger and surprise, the towering Orc warboss looked up, just in time to take a rapid volley of bolt pistol shots through both his good eye and his bionically enhanced one. Even devoid of the back part of his huge cranium and the majority of his brain, Zogax fought on for a few more moments before he fell into a twitching heap of greenskin. Cipher descended upon the Orcs, spinning in a circle while his twin guns blazed away. The plasma pistol was powerful enough to melt holes through the thick plating that covered the meganobs, while his bolt pistol shots struck more vulnerable points, such as their joints or the orcs' open-faced helms. Many went down beneath that cascade of fire, sprouts of orc blood, steam, and black oil jetting out from the collapsed piles of blocky armor. Holstering both pistols, Cipher dragged Alokin and his treasured artifacts to a nearby trench, then sprinted off even as the nearest Dark Angel closed in. Ignoring the remaining orcs, the Dark Angels concentrated fire on the robed figure, but he was soon hidden behind the smoking hulks of wrecked vehicles. Within moments, the force field jamming device that prevented the Deathwing from teleporting down was nullified, and the First Company arrived to secure victory. Of Cipher, no further signs could be found. And unfortunately, that is where we will cut it off. Part 2 will be coming tomorrow, so let me know what you guys think about this awesome, stealthy, perhaps evil, perhaps good character known as Cipher. Now, in my opinion, this guy is badass. He's dual-wielding pistols. In my opinion, it would have been cooler if he had 2 plasma pistols, but whatever. Anyway, I think this guy is good. I think he's going to return the broken Primarch sword to the Emperor, and he's going to be redeemed for his sins. That's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think. Is he a bad guy or is he a good guy? And why? Also, let me know if you're going to pick up this guy's model when it drops in March, I believe. And that's all I've got for you guys. Please stay tuned. Part 2 is coming tomorrow. And thank you guys for being awesome subscribers. As always, I am the Sound Alchemist, part of One Mind Syndicate, and I am signing out.